Wilson Luna from Your Family, Your Money lined up, and pretty important subject now that the stock market's going up and down, and as I said, mostly down. Wilson, are you there?
G'day, Ashley. How are you, mate?
Good. I don't know if you know, but today's been a bit of a big day down here because...
It has been, yeah.
did you actually
Can't miss it, mate.
Did you get to watch it up there?
I didn't, mate. I didn't get a chance, to be honest, but I would have loved to.
Bit of an upset.
It sounds that way.
Everyone expecting Collingwood to win, but, gee, the Cats came back. Yeah. Anyway.
Nice job.
Hey, how are you? I haven't spoken to you for about 6 months.
Pretty good, mate. Pretty good. Although the markets and everything else seems to be in turmoil, I've been okay, actually.
Just a bit of a mess, as it says. In fact, I might even read the first sentence of that press release that goes out to the media. Recent volatility in the market has left many investors shaken, but for non-investors, heaving a sigh of relief about not doing their cash in a plunging market, it's still not that good because, as you warn in the press release, don't forget where your superannuation is invested. Did you want to explain that to our listeners?
Yeah, look, firstly, we've got a bit of a situation where, a lot of people that were planning to retire soon or were planning to retire over the next 2 years are suddenly realising that maybe they might have to extend that by a few years because their supers have unfortunately taken a big hit because of the market volatility. Unfortunately, to some, look, it's fortunate and unfortunate. The unfortunate part is obviously if you feel like retiring and you can't, there's nothing worse in the world than that. The fortunate bit from a government standpoint is the fact that the funding for retirees comes from people that are still working. So the disproportion that was going to exist there between people that were retired, we've got a lot of baby boomers, a percentage of baby boomers are fairly high compared to the working population. So that was going to cause a bit of a disbalance in terms of balancing the budget from a government perspective. So that actually worked out well for the government. For people that are sort of going through dropping balances, that's not good. And for people that are still a way out, this is a great time to get a big lesson out of it and primarily get the lesson of, know where your super is. A lot of us believe that because we don't see it come out of our pay packet, unfortunately, we don't keep our eye on it, or we don't really worry about, I'm sure they're doing a good job, that's fine. And we can't forget at the end of the day that this is our money.
Well, I was going to ask you a bit more about that, Wilson.
Yep.
We do just do what you said. We sort of, we know that we have to pay the super. It just goes out of our pay packet. And then we trust the superannuation company to do the best by us. But it seems to me, I've been sort of watching my super go down, and I rang my financial advisor, who I found out gets commission from where he puts my money, and when the market went down, I said, why didn't you guys take it out of shares, or at least call people and say, do you want to change out of shares into cash or some other fixed income kind of thing which doesn't go down when the stock market goes down? And he said, huh? Oh, I didn't think of that. And it's like, but that's sort of what you're saying, isn't it? So they've got our money, they put them into shares, and then they just leave them sitting there. They don't actually have any obligation to ring you and tell you, look, we think the share market's going to go down, you should take your money out of shares or put 50% of it into bonds or something. Yeah,
look, my stance on that's pretty easy. It's that, unfortunately, we can outsource the process of doing the investments, but it's our money, and when it's our money, no one's going to take care of it better. So even if you do see an advisor, no matter how good he is, and there's a lot of great ones out there, when he gives you advice, his role really is to give you 2 or 3 options. But it's your role to be educated enough to decide on which option you want to take. Unfortunately, what happens is some people say, look, I'll leave it all to him. And, like in your case, what happened was it's like, it's a matter of saying, okay, I'll let him do the work of it, but when I find markets are moving or something, I need to make that call. And I think you did the right thing where you made that call straight away and you said, look, I want to find out where my money's invested. Believe it or not, a majority of people won't even look into it until they're 2-3 years out of retirement, and then they'll whinge because they'll say, I didn't have enough. And it's sad, it's quite sad. Really.
But how does it work? You're saying that these financial companies, companies, whether it's AMP or any of these big ones, I don't know, I'm just trying to think of some of the names. There's one owned by NAB. What's that big one?
The MLC and all the rest.
MLC or something. I don't know. All the AMP, MLC, those big names that we trust. And our money goes into some of those big superannuation companies. I'm not singling anyone out. But they don't have any obligation to call us and say, look, we think the market's going to be tight and all that money that's been coming out for 20 years out of your salary, we think you should put it into something else, like a safer investment. They don't have any responsibility to do that.
No, look, from a manufacturer standpoint, that's what they are. They're manufacturers. They're called manufacturers, which are institutions.
Yeah.
Look, at the end of the day, they want to get you the best return they can because the competition's so tight. So they do. They genuinely want to get the best return. Unfortunately, when markets turn like this, nobody can pick the right returns. In terms of who should be warning you or suggesting things, that would be the role of your advisor. But even from an advisor standpoint, it's such a complicated scenario because unfortunately what ends up happening is he hasn't got the crystal ball either, and he doesn't want to get into a situation, I can imagine, like many of them saying, hang on, you're invested long term, why don't we let this bump in the road get out of the way and then we come back. So it's not as easy as that, but look, I believe that if you've got a good advisor, he should be across you fairly regularly saying, look, this is what's happening. We've got two options. Would you like to get out or would you like to stay in? And provide those options. That's really prudent and really good advice.
But most of us never hear from them, do we?
Yeah, look, advisor and advisor. I've heard of some great ones, and obviously, there's some that sort of, aren't so you don't hear of them that much. So it's a matter of finding. Look, in terms of that, one of the important things is finding someone that you believe has got your best interest at heart.
All right.
And you believe treats your money like if it's theirs. And it's not that easy to do, unfortunately, but it's looking around because at the end of the day, it's your money and you need to retire on it.
All right, Wilson, we'll have to go to a quick commercial break, but when we come back, are you keen to take calls?
Let's do it, yeah.
All right,
absolutely.
We'll go to a break now, and then when we come back, we'll go back with Wilson Luna. And if you want to ask Wilson questions about your super, how best to manage it, 8223 0000. You're with Ashley on 5AA.
Hi, I'm Rod Jamieson, Ambassador for the Neil Saxey Foundation. Did you know you can become a member of the Neil Saxey Business Directory, offering you discounts and special offers to hundreds of local Adelaide businesses and bring us one step closer to a cure for spinal cord injury? Best of all, membership is absolutely free. Join the Neil Saxey Foundation Business Directory today. Pick up your free membership card at nsf.org.au. The Neil Saxey Foundation, the first step to curing spinal cord injury.
Be amongst the first to taste the best wines of the Royal Adelaide Wine Show, Friday, October 7. Tickets are just $60, and with only 400 tickets available, you must secure yours now. Go to thewineshow.com.au.
Is it true?
Sure is. Beaumont Tiles have discounted every single floor tile in all 80 stores, including large Italian floor tiles for under $20 a metre.
Wow!
Beaumont Tiles' biggest ever floor tile sale is on now.
With 80 stores, there's got to be one near you.
People believe high-tech products are also high cost when it comes to servicing. Not so with the hybrid Camry. It's world-leading hybrid technology that comes with up to 4 $130 capped price logbook services, thanks to Toyota Service Advantage. Hybrid Camry. Until you drive it, you won't know what the future holds. Visit hybridcamry.com.au for Toyota Service Advantage eligibility and exclusions.
Permit number M12252. You deserve our most valuable early bird prize ever in the Hospital Research Foundation Lifestyles Lottery. The stunning 2011 Maserati Gran Turismo, valued at over $300,000. Imagine ultimate driving pleasure through the Adelaide Hills in your brand new Maserati. Your proceeds support patient care, equipment and research at the QEH. Visit lifestyleslottery.com.au or call now to order your tickets. 1300 852 177.
Tomorrow, 5AA is where the SANFL footy finals happen.
Oh! It's a hanger. It's a hanger.
The Eagles and the Redlegs playing for a spot in next week's SANFL Grand Final. For North Point Toyota, see the team for gold fleet pricing on selected vehicles. Finals football on 5AA.
Interactive Radio. 1395 Adelaide's 5AA. Phone 8223 0000. Ashley Felderhoff.
It's 7:15 on 5AA. You with Ashley. Remember, 8223 0000. I'll tell you, Mick Malthouse might be looking into a super now. I wonder what his plans are. Anyway, we've got Wilson Luna, the head of Your Family, Your Money, who provide advice to families Australia-wide. Wilson, I guess the question I've got is, I think we just assume that someone out there is looking after our money, don't we? It comes out because the government says we have to take it out.
Correct.
It goes to someone, and we just kind of accept that we lose it and assume that someone's doing the best thing by us. But what you're saying is we can't do that anymore, isn't it?
Look, the principal thing is if you just put your money in there, it goes into what's called the default fund. The default fund is generally, and I'll make it as simple as possible, it's generally put into a balanced fund. And a balanced fund is a mixture between shares, property, fixed interest, etc. But it's pretty much average risk type fund.
Yeah.
Which is okay.
Now, hold on, sorry, can I just ask, fixed interest, that's a code word, or people who are in finance know, fixed interest means basically in the bank or bonds, doesn't it?
Correct. Absolutely,
which is actually good because it's safe, is that right?
Correct.
But doesn't earn you a high return.
Exactly. Although I've got to tell you, right now, it's probably earning a higher return than shares and that are. So.
Yeah, and you don't have the risk either.
Yeah, so and that's that's why they put it straight into balance if you make no decisions.
Yeah.
Now here's the secret. The secret's saying that you actually have got a choice, and most super funds have got a billion different type of investments.
Right.
We just don't know about them. So what you have to do is sort of exactly what you did. Call them up and say, what other options do I have with my money? Because remember, it's your money.
Yeah.
And just say, what other options? And they've got to be able to put together a few portfolios for you, obviously taking into account your risk profile and everything else, that suits you. So, at the end of your life, at most people's lives that are around about, between 40 and 50, that will probably be the biggest, if not the second biggest asset they have if they manage it properly. So it really pays to not only manage it properly, but make sure if you've had a few jobs, consolidate it up so you stop paying fees on multiple funds. That's really, really important as well.
Can I just ask you, so when the push comes to shove, how much are there estimations as to how much we actually need a year? And, have we got any way of trying to work out whether we've got enough or not?
Okay. This is average, obviously depends on yourself. They consider a modest retirement around about $31,000 a year, which I don't know if it's modest. I think it's probably bordering poverty line.
Doesn't sound a lot, does it?
Not when the average income is something like $68,000. I think you'd struggle with 31. And $55,000 is considered comfortable. Now, for people that are saying, okay, great, how much do I need to get that? You've got to aim at a figure of about $500,000 to get that kind of retirement, to get around the 50 mark. And always consider as well that when you've got the $500,000, that's also dipping into a bit of the government pension as well. So,
well, look, how does it work in terms of your own private pension fund or super versus the government, actually? That's a question I've always had myself.
Yeah.
So if you do have enough, do you still get government super?
Okay, it kicks in after a certain level. So it depends. It's an asset test base. So, over the last things I remember, over $400,000, you start reducing the amount of government pension that you get. So most people that retire use a combination of both.
Right. So what happens if you don't have enough? You won't just be out on the street.
No, you will be subsidised by the government.
Right.
The pension.
Right.
And if you've got none at all, you will get the full government pension.
Right, but the point is that if you're relying on the full government pension, it's just that's not very much, is that?
It's not a way of life, and I see it so much being in this industry that it's the biggest regret most people have when they retire and they realise that they didn't have enough is that they had all their lives to make up the difference and they didn't.
Yeah.
Because it's a bad existence, actually. Even look, and then there's the other side of things where I hear some people saying, look, I've got a house worth $1 million or $2 million, I'm rich. And I ask them and I say, okay, great, how much have you got to live on? And they say, oh, no, I've just got my house. And you say, well, unless you're thinking of eating the bricks, there's not much there to live on, and we need to live on a day-to-day basis, which is an income flow we need. So super is the best. Funnily enough, it's just a vehicle that helps us save the fastest because it's got a really low tax rate, and it's also got a lot of benefits in it. There's even things like co-contributions where we contribute $1,000 depending on our income, and the government will literally chip in an equal amount, so it's free money. So there's a lot of stuff like that people need to start getting across because you put that over 20 years and it makes a substantial difference to your super balance.
Okay. Yeah. All right, we're talking to Wilson Luna from Your Family, Your Money. We'll go to another quick break. It's 10 to 7 on 5AA, but your last chance after this break to give us any questions that you want for Wilson from Your Family, Your Money about super tonight, talking about super. And then we'll go to Open Air Talkback, talking about anything that's on your mind, 8223 0000.
Reckon you can cook up a feast that'll put a smile on the faces of some seriously ill kids? If so, we need you to slice, saute and serve up some smiles to raise money for the Starlight Children's Foundation. Just visit servingupsmiles.org.au now, then cook for your friends at home or have a bake-off at work. It doesn't matter if you're a home cook or gourmet chef. Whatever you make, you'll be making a difference. Register now at servingupsmiles.org.au.
Life is for living every day, not just on the weekends. And now there's a place where weekends can last forever. Manham Waters, a new waterfront residential and marina development on the Murray with recreational reserves and a planned tavern, cafe and retail. Stage 1 waterfront and residential allotments now selling. It's time to dust off those fishing rods and get your boat ready. Take a drive and take a look for yourself at Manham Waters. For open times and more information, manhamwaters.com.au. where weekends last forever.
Thinking about a new lawn for your place? Then think Paul Munn's Instant Lawn. Get a free quote on instant lawn, irrigation or any sort of landscaping work from Paul Munn, the lawn specialist of Brighton. Paul helped turf Amy Stadium, along with thousands of SA front and back lawns. He even introduced Instant Lawn in 1987 and now has the largest range in SA. For an irrigation system or lawn installation, call the experts at Paul Munn's Instant Lawn. Fast professional service and advice. Paul Munn at Brighton, the lawn specialist. Open 7 days.
You don't win 9 awards from 9 entries in one of the largest wine competitions in the world without being exceptional at what you do. So I guess that makes Amadio Wines exceptional, which is one of the reasons Amadio Wines has been used by big corporate bodies like Virgin Airlines and a broad range of overseas markets. But of course, we can all enjoy Amadio Wines right here in Adelaide at 461 Paynham Road, Wednesday to Saturday between 10:30 and 5:30 p.m. or online, amadiowines.com.
In the last 5 years, I've taken a few knocks. Losing my wife was the big one, and I've had health problems. I'm not one to complain, but I was really struggling. I felt sad all the time, and in the end, I talked to my doctor. Turns out, I had depression. I got some treatment, and after a while, I was back on track. So if you're not feeling yourself, don't hide it. Talk to your doctor.
For information on depression, call 1300 224636 or visit beyondblue.org.au.
Is it true?
Sure is. Beaumont Tiles have discounted every single floor tile in all 80 stores, including large Italian floor tiles for under $20 a metre.
Wow!
Beaumont Tiles' biggest ever floor tile sale is on now.
With 80 stores, there's got to be one near you.
Hey, daylight saving starts again this weekend, so before you go to bed Saturday night, put your clock forward 1 hour and you'll wake up just in time to hear Michael Keelan's Weekend with him and Neil Humphreys. Unless they forget to put their clocks forward, in which case you'll miss the first hour. $13.95, Adelaide's 5AA.
Interactive radio. $13.95, Adelaide's 5AA. Phone 8223 0000. Ashley Felderhoff.
Just after 7 to 7 on Adelaide's 5AA. You with Ashley. Great to have your company tonight. I hope you enjoyed the game. Fantastic game. I certainly enjoyed it, although a bit quiet tonight, of course, because I imagine most of you are just kicking back, putting up your feet and enjoying a beer or a glass of wine, to be honest. Wouldn't mind doing the same myself. But, hey, give us a call, 8223 0000. We're talking to Wilson Luna about superannuation. Wilson, thanks very much for coming on a Saturday night, and especially from New South Wales.
Mate, it's all good, mate.
When's the big game for you guys? It's tomorrow, isn't it?
Tomorrow, yeah, it's a huge one.
Yeah, yeah.
I think Manly should win, but that probably means not much to you guys.
Hey, look, just going back to the question I had with you off air, industry funds.
Yep.
There's a lot being said about the commercial kind of super funds versus industry funds. Can you just quickly explain what the key difference is?
The key difference is this: an industry fund is one that's run within. I suppose the main difference is that there's not advisors attached to it in a majority of cases. So pretty much you invest directly with the industry funds in a majority of cases. Now they're bringing in advisors to them a lot more. But there's a whole argument between, the industry funds don't pay advisors. Yeah.
Right.
The reality of it is they don't pay advisors, but they pay advertising. So much the same. Yeah. In so many ways. It's like this. There's great industry funds and there's great retail funds. It's a matter of which one's right for you. And the principal thing is to do your research properly, because don't be swayed with what industry funds are trying to sell, or don't be swayed with what retail funds are trying to sell. Try and work out what works best for you, what's best for your back pocket, and the only way we do that is by reading through those long documents at times that tell us exactly where they're putting our money.
Oh, the PDS. What is it? The dreaded bloody
and I hate to say that, but
product disclosure, whatever state.
Yeah.
They pay lawyers millions of dollars to make it as complicated as possible. I'm convinced of that. Seriously.
I'm not going to argue about that, mate. I probably agree with you on that front.
But the big thing, though, that they say is the difference with an industry fund is they don't have a regular percentage coming out, right? That is the big difference. So a commercial fund would have some sort of commission or something coming out every month or every quarter or something.
Not necessarily. A lot of the commercial funds now don't have that again. Don't have that anymore. So I think what you'll find is that, you know what they say, you can make an argument either way. And it's just a matter of looking into detail, because there's a lot of even commercial funds that haven't got that regular commission being paid out either. It depends on your advisor and whether you're paying him fee for service or whether you're paying him commissions on the back and you don't know about it. If ever you don't know about it, ask, because you shouldn't be paying for something you're not getting.
Right.
So the short answer of it is find the one that suits you, and don't be I call it, there's so many commercials either way that sometimes they try and convince us one thing or another. Look into it and look into the finer print, because that's where the truth usually lies.
All right. Well, look, we're talking to Wilson Luna from Your Family, Your Money about superannuation. Wilson, can you just remind people, seeing it's been a while, of your website and a little bit about your the services that you guys offer? Yeah,
look, we're a consumer advocacy group, and principally, we help. We've got over 95,000 members. That sort of, get a lot of the information from us, etc. And what we've got is our best-selling money program ever, which is Australia's best-selling money program. It's called the 30-Day Challenge. And for 30 days, it's actually not a bad idea to pop by Your Family, Your Money, because what we're doing is we're giving that program 100% free. So all you have to do is go on there, give the details on the website, go to yourfamilyyourmoney.com, and you can get the entire program free of charge. It's only there for 30 days, though, so after 30 days we're going to close that promo. So make the most of it whilst it's there and hopefully save yourself a fortune in the process.
All right. Wilson, thanks for your time tonight.
Thank you, champion.
Good to talk to you.
Cheers, mate. Bye-bye.
That's Wilson Luna from Your Family, Your Money, and the website is, in fact, easy. It's www.yourfamilyyourmoney.com. So, have a look and see if you can get some help there online. And next time I'm on, I'll make sure I have Wilson again. So if you've got questions that you didn't get to ask today,